that we talked about JAE Kim's positive side as a romantic option, it's time to discuss what could go wrong if the MC goes out with him. We are now approaching our final destination, the quest for dating and romances where nothing can possibly go wrong. Possibly go wrong. It's the first thing that ever goes wrong. Also, before we talked about his rebel with a cause nature, the problem is that sometimes he is a rebel, but without a cause. And it's not only that this gets him in trouble all the time and the poor guy can never leave the kitchen, but also that the way I see it, many times and not, it's not even with a real reason to justify causing himself those consequences. This also shows that he is impulsive, which we can also notice in the fact that despite being capable of noticing the danger, he rarely stops to think of it, because his mentality usually is act first, think later. And since his business is in nocturnal is where this gets the most exacerbated, where the more attractive the business is, the less he thinks of the consequences, many times and not this puts him in danger, his friends, and even innocent creatures. Which leads me to the next point. Although he's not intentionally cruel to animals, he doesn't worry about them particularly either. And although this by itself could be alright if he let them be, not everybody has to like animals, the problem is that even if it's not intentional, his businesses in nocturnally many times and not make others suffer, including creatures. And although when MC tells him like with the Billywigs he does stop it, this still doesn't change the fact that somebody has to tell him and somebody close to him so that he listens, which means that until somebody says something, he potentially could be willing to make himself money by making somebody else suffer. Or if not that literally because he is not inflicting pain intentionally, at the very least he is willing to sell the creatures without even knowing to whom, if they're going to be okay, if they're gonna treat them right. And although I understand I love animals more than Ace Ventura and not everybody has to love them as much as I do, the ecological unawareness of JAE and many people that think the same way impairs you from respecting life. And if you join this with his liking for illegal businesses, this could very easily lure him to take very questionable paths in life where he could get himself hurt or somebody else. And the worst part, not even for being a bad person like other characters in the game, but for not knowing when to stop. Although he's one of the most friendly and sociable romantic options, he keeps hiding his sensitivity and good heart to keep his bad boy facade. And it's not only that this makes him seem cold and distant, but also that despite wanting genuine connections, this behavior actually puts him at the risk of having only shallow relationships. Because although I can understand that you're not going to tell all your intimacies to a perfect stranger, because of his closeness with his family and nostalgia for them, he closes himself to being vulnerable with people until he reaches a level of confidence that's almost familiar. And although again in theory I get the reason behind it, it's very unrealistic the way I see it to expect that level of closeness with someone that you're not even letting get to know you. This bad boy pose does not only make him live tempting luck all the time, but also to dumb himself down to some extent or to throw away his potential with magic, being indisciplined at school probably for not wanting to look like a geek. And although at the end he graduates with honors, the fact that this is so surprising shows that JAE has stereotyped his own person, making people perceive him like the bad guy that's always grounded and there's nothing more to him. And lastly, the worst part of JAE's negative side is how normalized he has it. And we can notice this in the lightness that he takes it every time that he gets grounded, showing that he's normalizing way too much to be doing improper things and to then get punished. And this could be very problematic since the school life for a relationship, because how do you go out with someone that's always working in the kitchens? But it's the adult life that really worries me, because given his liking for illegal businesses, it has the potential to go not to shit but somewhere worse. Because if one day one of his businesses put him in Azkaban, MC would end up seeing him only in conjugal visits. And because of all this, I stand my ground that if JAE worked on improving his negative side, on bettering himself, and this had to do with MC, it could simply not be for just an I like you, but a true love, because it would imply leaving many things that besides he likes, but that are very toxic to keep a healthy relationship. So if it was the MC that brought out the best side of JAE, encouraging him to work on his talents, and discouraging him from the dirty businesses, it would not only come from a good relationship, but from true love. But if JAE lets his dark side take over, given the way and the level this could affect not only the relationship and MC but also their safety and their lives, it would not only turn into something toxic but a septic tank where MC could actually come out dirtier than him. Let's face it, I like JAE, it's nothing personal against the character, and I'm sorry for the ones that like him, but given the fact that he likes to deal with dark witches and wizards that do illegal businesses, I just can't help to think that in my case, with JAE Kim in particular, my decision to not go out with him would not be very much because I don't like him or because I don't think he's handsome or those things, but, well, because, you know, I wouldn't like to be looking over my shoulder like Skyler from Breaking Bad every day. If you like this analysis of Jae Kim's negative side, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell so YouTube lets you know when I upload the verdict of the realometer. Mrs. Midnight loves you and hopes to see you next time. Until very soon.